Good afternoon. So, as they say, digital is a mindset. It's not a technology, right? And I firmly believe in that. What in Tata Steel we are trying to do is we are embarked upon a massive digital transformation journey, and which is aligned to our vision. As a steel industry, we want to become a pioneer in digital steelmaking by 2025. This is stated in our strategy document. This is a public statement we have already made. Now we believe that digital and IT will become a technology enabler to achieve this vision. So that is, we have a vision statement. And what to achieve that, what we have done is, I firmly believe that digital transformation cannot happen without a very strong IT background, because digital has to ride on the backbone of a very, very fundamental information technology backbone. Otherwise, it is like driving a very fast car on a very undone road, right? So, in order to achieve this vision, we have given ourselves mission statements. In terms of IT, it is agility. We have to drive agility, an agile enterprise. We have to drive an intelligent enterprise, and we want to drive a digital enterprise. Now, there may be definitions, and I will not go into the details at this point in time, but agility, we think cloud at this point of time. I have kept ourselves a little bit away from the edge computing and blockchain at this point in time, and I will give you the reason why we have done so in a minute or so. So, but we have gone 100% onto cloud, onto enterprise cloud, right? So that we have taken, and that is giving us scale, speed, and agility. From an intelligent systems perspective, it is all about data. How you curate the data, do you have a data structure in the organization or not? So that is very, very important. We'll talk about data office in a bit. And the third dimension is digitalization, which is fundamentally using the new age technologies to drive fundamental analytics and advanced analytics to enrich the business experience. The goals that we have are broadly in 4 dimensions. One is the financial systems or the financial goals. We call it the financial alacrity, which will mean financial prudence, which will mean can we do smart close within a week, can we close our books or not. We are talking about the entire disclosure management, right? So a lot of things we can do in the financial systems, and everything should be coming from a single version of truth, and that is what we are trying to achieve. Cyber resilience, I think a lot has been spoken about on cyber resilience since the morning. So as you move onto the digital journey and you put a sensor in the shop floor, you're actually exposing the company to an exponential level of vulnerability. Because any sensor which is processing data at a local level is exposing vulnerability to the enterprise. So we need to take care of it proactively. The secondary aspect is that any application you do, you're again exposing vulnerability for the organization. So we need to look at that aspect. So cyber resilience becomes a very, very key consideration for us. And we have created a 3 level of defense mechanism. One is the app and data level security. Second is the entire cyber operations control center, right, with the new technologies we are putting in. And it includes IT as well as the OT, that is the shop floor systems, the level 2 systems and the level 0 and level 1 systems too. And then there is a red teaming, that is somebody has to always look at that, is my cyber mechanism resilient enough by doing the ethical hacking and doing the penetration and see that whether it is really working or not, right? So that's what we are trying to do in cyber resilience. The third aspect dimension is the smart operations. So where fundamentally we are seeing that can we bring in insights from the shop floor near real time to the operator, to the manager, to the chiefs who are controlling the plants. It is a very tall order ask. This concept has come from GE in terms of digital thread. It has an underlying data and an IT backbone system where every data can be converted into insights and can be provided to the operations manager to take decisions based on data and insight rather than on instinct. Today, most of the enterprises run on instinct, and I'm not going to say that instincts are not important. It is important, but we have to move the transformation from instincts to insights, and that's what we are trying to do. Now, to give a shape and a north star to this entire initiative, we have an EBITDA improvement target. The transformation culminates and this is, I won't be able to disclose the numbers in this forum, but this is a very, very massive, substantial percentage of our EBITDA improvement that should come from the digital initiative. It is not in millions, but upwards of that, and I'll leave it at that at this point in time. Before I move on, there is a governance framework that is there to drive this digital transformation, and the governance is fundamentally based on a Deming's principle, Deming's philosophy, which tracks from ideation to validation of idea to business case formulation, business case sign-off, implementation of a project, giving the analytics or the algorithms into the business and making the business accrue the profit improvement by leveraging these things in the shop floor. And everything is tracked and audited by third party before it hits our balance sheet. So that's the method of governance that we follow. Coming to Business 4.0, I would not spend much time on this slide. There's fundamentally three points that I would take out from this slide. In the context of Uberization and servitization that we are seeing around the globe, we are focused on outcome, we are focused on insights, and we are focused on automation. Those are the deliverables that we are giving to business, modifying their KPIs and driving a positive movement. Right? The technologies that you see here, the technologies are available. The point I would make to you is that we are catching the technology in the middle of the crawl, walk, and run cycle, rather than trying to leverage a technology which is just upcoming. And that is why we have not leveraged blockchain or edge computing as of yet. We are still trying to observe. Let it crawl, let it walk, and then we'll see, because every technology has a gestation period. And typically, from my background, I have seen it takes around 3 to 4 years for any technology to come to a little bit of a matured state. And we want to allow that time frame to every technology we adopt. This is the core of the IT strategy and the digital strategy. As I said, I cannot isolate digital from IT, but there is a way to look at it till the data office, and this core strategy has to be read bottom up. So what we are looking at, the first 4 blocks, if you will, which fundamentally looks at the network, puts the data in motion, puts the cyber resilient architecture, and puts everything onto cloud for scalability, speed, and that stuff. Looking at the aggregation of data from the sensorization of the sensor technology roadmap on the shop floor, moving to the application level consolidation, data consolidation, and then creating the data office or the data structure for the entire enterprise, which is very, very important for any transformation to be driven. These 4 blocks is nothing but the core IT, and there is a transformation therein. The top 3 blocks, which is fundamentally doing the industrial IoT, the analytics, the AI, and the visualization through which the insights will be rendered into the enterprise to the users, is fundamentally the digital transformation. And every layer is dependent on the previous layer for it to be matured, because unless the previous layer is matured, it will not get the effectiveness of the subsequent layers, and that is what I believe. But you can start all the initiatives in parallel and drive incremental benefits. But the incremental transformation will not supersede the genetic transformation that happens from the lower layers of the strategy. So it will take another 2 to 3 years for us to realize all the benefits. But if you look at, there is an incremental benefit that keeps on coming month-on-month basis on the EBITDA. And there is some improvement that we have to wait for 2 to 3 years for us to really impact the balance sheet. And I will talk about those in the next slide, or the subsequent slide rather. This slide will read it as speed, skill, and scale. See, for any transformation, as a steel manufacturing company, we won't have IT skills within, right? So we are dependent on our partners, and we have selected best of breed partners globally renowned, around 8 or 9 of them. We are working with them today. Each and every one have been evaluated and given area depending on their skill set and their expertise, so that there is no competition or we are not wasting time in just putting RFP and selecting and evaluating. We have a fair process of doing so. And so every partner has been given an area like raw materials or mines or enterprise IT and systems integrator role, so that they can really go deep and create that value for us. So that's how we are bringing in speed, skill, and scale. But at the same time, we don't want to be overly dependent on our partners because if they leave, or once they leave, or once the job is done, so we don't want to be left high and dry. So what we are doing is that as a part of our outcome-based contract engagement, train us before you leave. So that's a continuous activity that is going on. So on the top left-hand corner, you see capability, which fundamentally addresses that how our business people are trained on analytics. We train our business guys in analytics so that they can also run algorithms, they can actually create one and then sustain that over a period of time. That's very key. Computing infrastructure is all on cloud. We'll do some experimentation on edge computing on the shop floor with acoustic methods and all that. We'll see that. And execution methodology is 100% agile. We don't do waterfall, so whoever is in the IT industry will understand that we have moved from waterfall and every other method to complete agile and scrum and squads. So that is the methodology we are following. Coming to the large-scale transformation, that was on the bottom 4 layers. This slide will look different for different industry. For us, it looks like supply chain is key component, logistics, inbound, outbound is key component. Maintenance technology is an extremely important component for us because we need to reduce our unplanned outages to almost zero, near zero, planned outages to also near zero. This also is applicable for the airline industry or the aircraft industry, aviation industry rather. So that is very, very important. That's the maintenance technology roadmap. We have embarked on that. Energy management, marketing and sales, launching new products, new services and solutions, and procurement. These are the high spend items in our industry, but my message is that for any industry, they should identify what are the high spend items and what are the big ticket items where you can really drive transformation by bringing in digital and IT and really save money, hitting the bottom line at the end of the day. So with that, I would end my presentation. I have another 1 minute, 40 seconds left to answer a few questions if you have. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Sure.
Any questions from the audience members?
Okay, thank you.